My name is Zachary Hanson. I'm the editor-in-chief of Columbia's Journal of International Affairs, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to our launch event for our next issue, the theme of which is the Fourth Industrial Revolution. And today, we are honored to have some of our authors join other notable experts from the field to help launch this issue here at Columbia University. The Fourth Industrial Revolution, or 4IR, is not merely a series of incremental improvements in technology. This phenomenon is something that can upend systems that entire populations take for granted. The Fourth Industrial Revolution could change the way we transport goods, it could change the way we make things, and it could even change the way that we communicate as individuals. And this is both good, bad, and maybe even a little bit of both. And this issue of the journal has been, we pulled it together using a series, an integrated series of analyses and perspectives on the Fourth Industrial Revolution from some of the most important institutional players, high-level officials and practitioners, and thought-provoking academics from around the world. Our issue addresses technological, societal, and economic fundamentals for the Fourth Industrial Revolution. It examines implications for entire regions, such as Africa or parts of Latin America, and it also considers ethical and moral challenges associated with integrating the physical into the digital. In addition to some of the authors that you will hear from tonight, our contributors to this issue include Guy Ryder, the Director General of the International Labor Organization, the chairman and founder of the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, and the Swedish Minister of Employment and Integration, Ylva Johansson. And before I explain how today's launch event is going to work, let me first recognize the efforts of many of the journal staff persons whose combined efforts helped lead us here tonight. The first person I want to recognize is our managing editor for print, Amir Kuzam. Amir's organization skills and tireless efforts helped guide the entire publication process from conception to launch event. And at the end of this, I'll ask everyone to sort of give a round of applause and wave to the crowd. So hold your applause until I do. The second set of people that I want to call out are the senior editors Juan Zhang and Jillian Timko, both of whom were absolutely instrumental in identifying our contributors, orchestrating a rigorous peer review process, and helping to ensure the overall quality of our issue. The third person I want to recognize is our production director, Aswati KP. Aswati is the reason that our issue looks so beautiful, and she has saint-like patience as she incorporated numerous rounds of edits in a fairly complicated design process. The fourth person is Leah van Marcius. Leah is our features editor, and she organized and conducted reviews of a number of high-profile individuals and helped collect essays from others. And ultimately, her material helped augment our standard group of academic articles. The fifth person is our book reviews editor, Jennifer Ryland. Jen conducted original research on dozens of books and helped to really work closely with the senior editors to find the right reviewers and ensure that the book reviews complemented the overall thematic issue of the Fourth Industrial Revolution. Sixth is our student essays editor, Farah Abu Salih. Farah worked hard to publicize the call for papers for our student essay competition, and he was instrumental in identifying institutional counterparts in our GPPN network and also throughout Columbia University. Seventh is our assistant editors who supported the process: Akshara Baru, Sergio Galliano, Rocky Intan, Mallory Ritigliano, and Daniel White. Together, this group worked hard to conduct initial reviews. They shepherded the process through a lot of moving pieces and really helped keep the train of review running smoothly, which is why we're all able to be here today. And finally, to our digital and marketing teams, whose behind-the-scenes efforts or very visible social media presences helped ensure the success of both our issue and this launch event. So please join me in thanking all of these people that I've listed out for their hard work. We're going to start the event with a video sent to us from the World Economic Forum about the Fourth Industrial Revolution. Unfortunately, Thomas Philbeck, the head of Technology, Society, and Policy, was unable to join us tonight, but he asked me to read a brief letter, which I will do after this video, that helps frame the concept of what the Fourth Industrial Revolution is and is not. From there, we've decided to move away from a traditional panel talk and are doing something that we're calling the Long Conversation, which is a way to spur thinking and innovative discussion about this issue. Essentially, the Long Conversation is a discussion between two of our speakers or authors who will be seated here in the front of the room for about 10 minutes, just as a brief overview of how this is going to work, because some of you may not have seen this before, but for about 10 minutes of the two pairs, Speaker A will interview Speaker B. They'll ask about the concept, the scope of their work, why they're involved in the Fourth Industrial Revolution. And after we call time, Speaker A will leave the front of the room and be replaced by another one of our speakers who just continues the conversation and the interviewer flips. And so you'll see over the course of tonight a number of our notable experts and our contributors who will participate in the long conversation. And we hope that this format will let the audience listen in on some insightful conversation between experts, and we really hope that it's a slightly more dynamic or cross-cutting type of event than a 10-minute panel presentation. We ask that you hold all audience questions until the reception, which will immediately follow the long conversation, and we'll be serving beer and wine so you can engage with the experts in a little bit more of a relaxed way. In addition, I want to make note that we are live streaming the event tonight, so try to keep your side conversations to a minimum, because otherwise our live streamers will hear your very helpful commentary on the event. And then finally, at the end of the event, we will be offering a limited number of our issues for people to take home if they'd like. They'll be available outside, and whoever wants one is able to take one away. But without further ado, let me play the welcome video from the World Economic Forum.
The original Industrial Revolution was driven by the discovery that you could use steam engines to do all kinds of interesting things.
That was followed by additional revolutions for electricity and computers and communications technology. We're now in the early stages of the fourth industrial revolution, which is bringing together digital, physical, and biological systems.
One of the features of this fourth industrial revolution is that it doesn't change what we are doing, but it changes us.
We need a different economic model that will allow us to meet the basic needs of every human on the planet, and that will be focused not on growth per se, but on maximizing human well-being.
We have energy technologies that can power our civilization, but how do we get it and implement it at the scale we need at a price that people around the world can afford?
If we're able to do something to transform cities, to make it more efficient, then the impact can be huge.
We can use asset tracking, we can use IT, we can use 3D printing to decouple growth from the resource constraints we have.
The question of adding quality to quantity, it's really about the diverse and healthy and just world with clean air, clean water, clean energy.
Together we're fighting to preserve our fragile climate from irreversible damage and devastation of unthinkable proportions.
The prediction of 5 million jobs lost by 2020 to technology is serious, but the main question is, how will we define work? How will we share the will?
How can you have a doctor that really knows a lot about data? How can you have a biologist that knows about medicine?
We have to create a space that enables people to think freely, to think divergent thoughts, to think creative thoughts.
We really need new education, new training.
We're working with a World in Motion and First Robotics, trying to encourage the students from 3rd grade all the way up through the end of high school to pursue science, math, and different technologies.
This ability of digital technology to change outcomes, to truly empower people that can create a more equitable growth. Fourth industrial revolution has the potential to make inequalities visible and to make them less acceptable in the future.
I was the first person in the world to be able to voluntarily move my legs while stepping in a robot. The cure will be possible if enough of the right people have the will to make it happen.
We're seeing this incredibly exciting convergence of genome editing, DNA sequencing. Governments have a very important role to play in enabling the safe and effective use of technologies.
We need to take responsibility at every level of society to adapt to these technological challenges, which are redefining what it means to be completely embedded in this world.
Even though we have every
everyday problems we have to solve, we have to find a way to lay the foundations for the innovations of tomorrow.
Now I will read a letter from Thomas Philbeck, the head of Technology, Society, and Policy at the World Economic Forum, who was unable to join us today. Good evening. As seen and heard in this introductory video, the vast network of expertise that has come together to work on the topic within the forum articulates the stakes of technological change far better than I could alone. Many of my colleagues and I have been working for the last 2.5 years to promote the concept of the Fourth Industrial Revolution, not in order to promote technology uptake by any stakeholder groups, nor to create tech hype or tech malaise. Rather, we see the technologies being developed on the back of digital infrastructure and digital changes in mentality, metaphor, process, and exchange as signs of a global transformation of societal awareness as well as industrial, economic, and political evolution. At this historic moment, it is clear to think about the systemic implications of the technologies and to develop methodologies for guiding positive systems leadership. Systems aren't orchestrated by any individual, company, or government, but they can be influenced, guided, and directed toward generating outcomes that are in the global public interest. Making sure we recognize and defend the dignity of human beings, act in preservation of global public goods, and take up the call to stewardship of the environment for the benefit of future generations. The coming changes associated with the Fourth Industrial Revolution are connected to many challenges at the global governance level. Whether AI and its impact on international security or bioengineering and global values perspectives. At the forum, we are committed to being an enabling platform for dialogue among stakeholders and encourage cooperation and collaboration between the public and private sectors to improve the state of the world. It has been a real pleasure and honor to be asked to support this issue of Columbia's Journal of International Affairs, which is dedicated to the Fourth Industrial Revolution. Thank you for being open to thinking about how the opportunity for us all to have an impact on how we build a human-centered future amongst tremendous technological change. With very best regards, I wish you an enjoyable evening at the launch event.